SV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Well, is that not the truth or what? No, seriously, is that not the truth or what? Anyways, today is Wednesday, April the 6th of 2022, day 96 of the year, and only 269 remaining before it is all over with. So I hope everything is good and grand inside of your neck of the woods as we are hanging out, hanging and banging first thing in the morning, because that's always important to do so. So how are you doing on this wacky Wednesday? Yes, it is Wednesday. It does make it wacky. So we are broadcasting live from our Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM. And then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place that we do stuff at.
Radio.
Yes, hanging and banging at Radio Big.FM. So for some of the oddities for today, just to give it to you from the very start, my hit list did not populate in regards of what was trending. My trends did not go down, did go down, and I cannot believe that nothing was trending yesterday, so I call bullshit on that. So sorry, no trends this morning. I tried to pull it up in several different formats, and it just would not do it. So there's just something there for you. But I do have what is going on inside of the New York Times bestsellers list, because it is that day to talk about it. So let's talk about that right now. So giving it to you from number 5 to number 1 in the fiction category. Here we go. And number 5 is Verity. It's been on the list for like 16 weeks, but there you go. At number 4, It Ends With Us. And number 3, The Recovery Agent. That's new. That one's new. At number 2 was Run, Rose, Run, just in case. And at the number 1 spot, according to the fiction category, if you're taking a look around, Where the Crawdads Sing. So that's what's going on over there. So I don't know. If you're taking a look at the nonfiction category, it goes something like this. Crying in H Heart. At number 4 is The Storyteller. At number 3 is Lessons from the Edge. At number 2, the 1619 Project. And at the number 1 spot, according to the fiction category, based on New York Times, it says that One Damn Thing After Another. So there you go. That is what is going on inside of those cats. So now you know, and I know, and then we both know, and we kind of go from there. So that's what's going on inside of that stuff. So if you are new here, let's talk about this, because I think it's going to be important. This way there is no confusion on what is going on. I am going to tell you about safety in the news and safety, and then news, safety, and then separate them and mix them all together all in one giant spot. So don't worry about that. So if we can get this started, we're going to bring in our friends that are going to tell us some news stories, and then we're going to go from there.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Evidence of alleged Russian war crimes in Ukraine is building, Trey Thomas reports.
Prosecutors are fanned out across the country and saying they're investigating nearly 4,700 cases so far, including rape. They claim Russian troops have killed and tortured people in their homes, cars, and on streets, even burning some bodies. The top prosecutor describes the area around the capital as a tortured region from hell after it was recaptured from Russia's military. I'm Trey Thomas.
President Biden is fixing a glitch in the Affordable Care Act. The loophole has kept more than 5 million people from accessing subsidized health plans, even if they don't have other affordable options. He revealed the change on Tuesday during a White House event with former President Obama, who signed the law 12 years ago.
There was a high point of my time here because it reminded me and it reminded us of what is possible.
More relief is coming for millions of people with student loans. More from Mark Mayfield.
Payments are supposed to restart on May the 1st, but President Biden is expected to extend that to the end of August, possibly today. Democrats are pressuring him to continue the freeze due to record inflation, giving many extra time to prepare.
January 6 committee chair Benny Thompson says former first daughter Ivanka Trump answered questions from the committee Tuesday. Mike Bauer reports.
And for roughly 8 hours, Ivanka did not meet in person with the panel, but instead testified remotely. Back in January, the committee sent Ivanka a letter that said the panel had evidence that she was in direct contact with her father on January 6th. The January 6th investigators have been intensely interested in Ivanka, as the former first daughter is one of the few people with direct knowledge of what former President Trump was thinking and doing during the critical hours of the Capitol attack. Asked by reporters if Ivanka Trump had provided any new information or insights in her testimony, Thompson quipped in reply, "Good try."
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. The US and UK are expected to set out tougher sanctions on Russia over Ukraine. Japan has branded the killing of Ukrainian civilians a war crime and is pledging more humanitarian support. India and Japan are set to hold a ministerial dialogue this month to discuss the war in Ukraine and bilateral ties, and the UK government's defending a national insurance rise that kicks in on Wednesday, saying it's necessary and fair.
Listen to our host
Of the Rated R Safety Show.
self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
The lights are slowly coming back on for thousands of people in the South. 2 people were killed after storms hit from Texas to South Carolina. Tornadoes and damage were reported in several states, now bracing for more severe weather today. One person is fighting for their life after a shooting late last night at an industrial park in South Carolina. 2 workers were shot at the plant in Anderson. It's a small town near the South Carolina-Georgia state line, about 2 hours north of Atlanta. One of the workers was in critical condition at last check, and the shooting suspect killed himself. About 30 workers were in the plant when the shooting started. Investigators believe the shooter used to work there. Missteps could lead to a mistrial in the Nicholas Cruz sentencing phase. Natalie Rodriguez reports.
The defense in the case of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas killer may seek a mistrial today. At issue, 11 prospective jurors who, when they said they could not follow the law, were excused by the judge before the defense was able to question them.
I'll give you 5 or 10 minutes, but
you're going to give me 5 or 10 minutes to make a decision about whether I want to ask for a mistrial in a 17-count capital murder.
We're 1.5 days into jury pre-selection, so yes, I am.
You won't give me 24 hours. I just want to make sure the record's clear.
The record's clear. I'm not giving you 24 hours.
Judge Elizabeth Schur ultimately giving the defense till today to decide to make a motion for mistrial or waive the right to do so. If a mistrial is declared, the jury selection process will have to start over. Natalie Rodriguez, Miami.
There are 4 new stars on Nashville's Music City Walk of Fame. Dierks Bentley, Bobby Bare, Connie Smith, and Keb Mo were inducted yesterday. The Music City Walk of Fame did not hold induction ceremonies the last 2 years due to COVID-19. The Music City Walk of Fame honors artists who have made significant contributions to preserving the musical heritage of Nashville and for contributing to the world through song. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. BIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. BIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with BIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take BIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, the Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what can be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you.
You are listening to a renowned safety expert, Dr. Jay Allen, on Safety FM. Changing safety cultures One broadcast and one podcast at a time. Join the fun on social media and find us on Facebook at Safety FM.
Okay, I think we're pushing the levels of reality there when it comes to certain things. Anyways, there you go. 16 minutes past the top of the hour. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of noticias for the news in regards of what is going on. So that is important as we are hanging and banging and doing the things that we get to do together. Anyway, so let's get into this. Let's talk about some things. Let's talk about the world. Let's talk about some moves and some grooves and all of that fun stuff as we are hanging out on this lovely morning. So let's continue. So taking a look around and what was happening and what was going on is always fun because this is what we bring to you. So let's take it from the very top. Let's talk about an accused dog killer is caught facing charges. Natalie Rodriguez has some more info.
Davie and Seminole police announcing the arrest in the caught on camera cruel killing of Matilda, a therapy dog. 21-year-old Chase Billy is seen taunting a kennel-locked Matilda, then shooting her multiple times.
She knew when I was down, depressed, she would force me to pet her. And by doing that, I would calm down, relax.
Daniel Perez, an Army reservist, adopted Matilda 7 years ago. He says she helped him with his anxiety and depression after serving in Iraq and Afghanistan. Billy, meanwhile, is locked up, facing several animal cruelty charges. Natalie Rodriguez, Miami.
So there you go, some information on things going on inside of the world. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, what would be even the portion of wanting to kill a therapy dog? I mean, killing a dog in general, but out of all things, killing a therapy dog, that should make you question some things relatively quick about life, but that's neither here nor there for me to talk about. Anyways, let's talk about some other things. Boy falls from the 6th floor on the Bronx apartment building window. Doctors say that a 4-year-old boy who fell from the 6th floor windows in Bronx will likely make a full recovery, police say. The boy was found by neighbors on the ground crying outside of a New York City housing authority building yesterday afternoon.
Let me tell you something. It's a miracle that he fell in his grass and it was damp, because that boy was still moving and he was fighting.
Cops drove him to the hospital. The child's mother was home at the time of his fall. There is no word if she will be facing any charges. New York City requires that all apartments with children 10 and under have a window guard. Neighbors say that the boy fell from the apartment that had a window guard, and in every window except the one that he fell from. I mean, isn't that normally how it goes? If something's going to go wrong, it's going to be in the sector that you did not have anything at. I mean, this is kind of the way that it happens. It's not anything else that we would normally expect. So let's just be realistic when it comes to that whole thing. So there you go. So I think I'm going to jump out of sequence today just for the sake of doing so. So let's start talking right away, opposed to, jiving and jiving and moving and grooving and all that fun stuff. We're just going to jump in right now, and I think we're going to do some main story stuff, but a little bit earlier than expected.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
And I don't even know why I use the wording of I think we're going to. I guess if I have the controller and I made the decision, it's not really thinking about doing something. We're just really going to do it. So let's start talking about this. And I know that right away, if you're not familiar with the show and you're not familiar with the stuff that I do, you might have taken a look at the titling and went, wow, that's kind of an asshole thing to start posting about in regards of talking about things that are going on and all that fun stuff. And I get it. Believe me. Don't hold it against me. I understand what you are telling me. I understand at looking at that and going, wow, that's just kind of asshole-ish. Now, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, today's title is I Am Not a Safety Superstar. Now, at no point do I ever consider myself a superstar. At no point do I ever consider myself a safety star. But I think that there has been some confusion around and about in the things that we get to do on the reason that I sit behind this microphone and behind this board and behind this computer for us to actually get this into the airwaves out there to have this communication. Believe me, at no point has it ever been about the shit that I'm doing, because that's not the important part. So let's just make sure that we're clear. What the whole portion has always been is enhancing what is going on with other people, enhancing what is going on inside of the industry, enhancing what people might not know about currently. That is what the whole purpose of this thing has been. But here's the thing. With the people that claim, quote unquote, that they're out there wanting to compete with what I do, because that is a thing, there is this perception, there is this belief that the things are being done to become a safety star, a safety superstar. The only superstars that I know are the superstars that are in the WWE. That's the ones that I know about. And of course, you can take a look at a celebrity or an actress or an actor and consider that whatever you want. That's the thing here. So the reason that I do this, as I said, is to enhance other things, to bring knowledge base to what is going on out there. Believe me, I do not have all the cards of what is going on out in the industry, but it's stuff that we talk about as I am able to find information that is out there. Never has been about me. If you go back to our original shows, to our original conversations, to our original little bit of everything, I have never wanted to do anything realistically on video. Just really not what I wanted to do. I enjoy doing the aspect of radio. So that's why I wanted to continue to do radio. So that's the reason behind it. The confusion here is I never want to bring anything that's not important to the industry. And some people sit back and go, well, a good chunk of what you do in the morning with the show that you do has nothing to do with safety. Well, you have to listen to it. You have to listen to what's going on. I mean, a few moments ago, I was talking about a boy who fell from a window, and there was a safeguard that was missing from a window. Well, that would be a good case in point that apparently we are talking about some level of safety. The thing is that people sit around and think that this has a lot to do with, well, work safety, and you have to talk about how you would lay out a plan and a program and all that fun stuff. That's not what this is about. Not all the time. There is some stuff here that we have to talk about. And the fun part about this is that you have to lay things out in existence for them to occur. You have to lay out things for them to actually happen in time if you start talking about them. And what happens most of the times is that we don't talk about the things that are important, because it's not just about what is going on inside of the work environment. It's not about what didn't get approved and what did get approved. If you think about it, and it's going to get weird when I say this, the whole story here is a love story. What? Yeah. The whole story here is a love story. Because to an extent, regardless on how you look at this, the whole approach of safety, the whole approach of actually caring for people, the whole approach of safeguards, yes, there is a job quality to it, but you're mostly doing it because you care or you love other people. Now think about that for a moment, because you're going to sit here and go, what the hell does that mean? Well, here's the problem. When you think about safeguarding your family, when you think about doing stuff to make sure that your family is safe, are you doing it out of love or are you doing it out of a job? And as much as difficulty there might be in the following, think about this. You don't have to really like everyone, but there is a level of care and love and determination to your craft that you're doing to make sure that people are safeguarded. So am I going to sit here today and say, yes, I have finally found the love of a lifetime, and this is why I do what I do here day in and day out? Well, I guess one can argue that point to an extent, but also to another portion as we are talking. The amazing piece here is that we talk and we do the things about this because there is a level of care to what is going on inside of the industry. I mean, think about it for a moment. There is no other way to word it. I mean, we can talk about this and say, yes, the things are important, but then we can say they're not important, but we have to care for people for this to be successful. If I legitimately go in as a safety manager, safety director, or whatever and say, it does not care, and I do not give a crap about the organization, I don't give a care about people, well, it's not going to work. So there has to be that love tied in for this to work out. And listen, I get it. It gets weird when you start having that conversation out loud, when you start talking about these things, and when you start taking a look and going, these things are meant to happen in the way that they happen, and there's no other way around it. Yep. Kind of a weird one to verbalize, but something to think about as we are talking about it. So, do I say that I am a safety superstar? The answer will always be not. The answer is no. There is not a safety superstar. Now, do we have safety superstars on the station? Probably. I think that we do. I think that we have some people that have actually progressed what is going on into the industry relatively good, and that's just my opinion. But I look at it and I go, how amazing it is to be able to be a connector when it comes to certain things. But by no means have I ever wanted anybody to really see what I do. I mean, it's not something that needs to be done. Radio is perfectly fine for me. I am perfectly content inside of that space. But at the same time, this was something that was asked to do in regards of let's do it on a camera setting. So we started doing it in that fashion. So that's what we have going on. So yeah, there can be other people that are out there that the whole reason they're in safety is because they want to be stars. And that's why they podcast, broadcast, whatever the hell they claim that they're doing. That's not the reason to do it. The reason to do it is because you care for people and you love people. That's really what it is. That's really what it boils down to. If not, there is really no portion of being inside of this. Yes, will there always be financial gain in the things that we do? Yes, I would imagine that that would be part of the case. If not, well, that's going to be the portion. So, anyways, that's what I got for you. Let's continue on and move on to some other things because I think that's going to be important.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay. So now that we got that out of the system, let's just move on and move forward. Thank you, Alan Wolford, for the very, 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 very kind comments. So let's continue talking this morning about some things that are going on here inside of the world of the news. And I know that from time to time it can get awful in regards to some of these things that are happening, but let's talk about them. 3 family members found shot to death in Morgan Park neighborhood in Chicago. Detectives are investigating after an elderly woman and her 2 adult children were gunned down in a home in Chicago far south side. Some residents of Morgan Park neighborhood who knew the victims are devastated.
This is a shock. This is an absolute shock.
Authorities say that the 81-year-old Aretta Riley, 64-year-old Thomas Ann Riley, and 61-year-old Reuben Riley were found yesterday in their home near the 113th and Green Street. No one is currently in custody about what has occurred. So some things to talk about. Anyways, Osceola shut down because of a fire. Osceola, Iowa, much of the downtown in Osceola is expected to be shut down this morning because of a large fire on the corner of Main and Washington. The fire started, burning around 11 o'clock last night and was not contained and under control until about 4 this morning. The Osceola Fire Department is saying that to all residents that the buildings were able to be exit without injury.
So it's the original building is probably 3/4 involved, and it's going to be a several-hour operation before we get through this. That brick holds everything in, and these things tend to burn for a long time.
I think the sound quality was not the important portion of the recording there. Anyways, the Osceola Assistant Fire Chief Brian Jimerson speaking with WHO 13 early this morning. The department says that the roof of the building has collapsed to the second floor and the fire has possibly damaged the one and other building nearby. The fire is contained but still burning as parts of the building. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of there as we are talking about this. I hope that, by listening that, they don't find anything else in regards of anything catastrophic going on over there, because that is terrible just to hear information along those sides. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things that are going on. Talked about it at the very beginning of the show, but let's talk a little bit more. 2 workers shot at a South Carolina industrial plant. 2 people were injured, and one of them in critical condition after a shooting late last night at an industrial plant in South Carolina. Anderson County Sheriff Chad McBride says that about 30 workers were at the plant at the time of the shooting started around 10:30 p.m.
No motive as of yet. We've heard some theories and stuff like that right now. Of course, we'll have to sort through that. And just on the beginning, tip of the iceberg of the investigation.
Okay, it happened in the small town of Anderson near South Carolina-Georgia state line, about 2 hours north of Augusta. The gunman is believed to have taken his own life. Investigators are looking into whether he had formerly worked there or not. Some things to think about as we are talking this morning. So here we go. What else do we have going on? Let's see. 2 people bit by a fox at Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C. A fox has been captured on Capitol Hill after biting at least 2 people earlier this week. Zemina Bustillo says that she never thought something like this could happen to her.
I was walking and the fox ran up behind me and clipped my ankle with its mouth.
Okay, Congressman Amber Burr of California says that he was also bit by the wild animal. He said that he went to the hospital and was treated as a precaution. Folks are being encouraged to call animal control if they come in contact with a fox in the future. So there you go. Some things to think about. I mean, isn't that crazy? All of a sudden you're going around and voila. We're not talking about Fox and Friends. We're talking about that you got bit by a fox. So there you go. Interesting times for sure. Anyways, unionized doormen may go on strike over health care and sick leave. New York, some of the wealthiest New Yorkers may soon have to take out their own trash and pick up their own dry cleaning if unionized doormen carry through what they are saying is a threat of a strike.
I don't want them to strike. It would be awful. They do a lot. It would be awful.
The union representative of 30,000 doormen at swank buildings across the city say that the walk of the picket line of management carries out with no plan to slash their vacation days and increase healthcare costs. The head of the SEIU 32BJ says that there's still time for the building managers to work out a deal before the current doorman contract expires on, April the 20th. I guess it's a good day to do that. Some buildings have already hired private security guards just in case the doormans walk off. Unionized doormans make an average of $55,000 a year. Many of them say that it's time for a big raise because it's hard. It's a hard time in life and so little in 2022. I mean, it makes sense to me. I get it. I understand what they're saying. No doubt whatsoever. Anyways, New York's latest rise in COVID cases attributed to the BA.2 variant. New York's latest rise of COVID cases is being attributed to the so-called stealth variant. Sarah Lee Kessler has more information.
The CDC says the BA.2 strain, an Omicron subvariant, now makes up 84% of the COVID viruses circulating in the New York region. That region includes New Jersey, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. The CDC says last week, BA.2, also referred to as the stealth variant, accounted for 71% of new COVID cases compared to 52% the week before. Sarah Lee Kessler, NBC News Radio.
Okay, thank you, Sarah Lee Kessler, for letting us know what was going on inside of there. So what else do we have going on? Let's talk about this possible mistrial looming in Parkland killer sentencing. Missteps that could lead to a mistrial motion in the Nicholas Cruz sentencing phase. And Natalia Rodriguez has more.
The defense in the case of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas killer may seek a mistrial today. At issue, 11 prospective jurors who, when they said they could not follow the law, were excused by the judge before the defense was able to question them.
I'll give you 5 or 10 minutes, but
You give me 5 or 10 minutes to make a decision about whether I want to ask for a mistrial in a 17-count capital murder.
we're 1.5 days into jury pre-selection, so yes, I am.
You won't give me 24 hours. I just
No.
want to make sure the record's clear.
The record's clear. I'm not giving you 24 hours.
Judge Elizabeth Schur ultimately giving the defense till today to decide to make a motion for mistrial or waive the right to do so. If a mistrial is declared, the jury selection process will have to start over. Natalie Rodriguez, Miami.
Could you imagine that 5 to 10 minutes in regards of making up, some thought process there on what you need to do. I mean, I just don't think that would have been accurate, but hey, that's the kind of the way that it goes in regards of things that are happening. Anyways, let's continue talking a little bit here. It is 36 minutes past the top of the hour. So let's get it moving and grooving right now. Do we want to get moving and grooving? Let's see. Let's talk about this. We'll talk about this real quick.
Want you to make me feel like I'm the
Okay, Rihanna is joining the Forbes list of billionaires for the first time. The singer is also the first billionaire from Barbados, worth $1.7 billion, thanks to the large party to her cosmetics and fashion businesses. Lord of the Rings director Peter Jackson is also in the list of the first time this year after selling his stake to his digital films effects shop. Other celebs making it include Steven Spielberg, Jay-Z, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Kim Kardashian, and Kanye West. So there you go. Some things that you can think about today if you really want to sit around and do that. Anyways, it is currently 37 minutes past the top of the hour. So I think you know what we're going to do next. I really do. I really think you do.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Well, you might be like me and heard all these terms and we're not 100% sure on what they meant. Things is mining, blockchain, the Internet of Things. Well, I will tell you, we here at Safety FM have partnered up with a company that will explain this to you and will also have conversations to inform you on how you might have the potential of making passive income by being involved with this. All you need to do is go to safetyfm.com/iHub. They'll discuss blockchain. What exactly is mining? What is cryptocurrency? And what is the Internet of Things? To find out more information, go to safetyfm.com/iHub. That's safetyfm.com/iHub. And don't forget to mention that Jay Allen sent you. It's a new year, but it's feeling harder than ever to find and hire qualified people you need, especially for small businesses. That's where LinkedIn Job comes in. They make it easier to find people you want to talk to faster and for free. You can create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience and use screening questions to get your role in front of the most qualified people. Then use the simple tools on LinkedIn Jobs to quickly filter and prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering qualified hires versus leading competitors. I have to tell you that we have used LinkedIn Jobs to even find some of the people that we have here at Safety FM. LinkedIn Jobs can help you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know that every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your jobs for free on linkedin.com/safetyfm. That's linkedin.com/safetyfm to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. And don't forget to tell them that you heard it right here on Safety FM.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
We are now video streaming the Rated R Safety Show. I don't know why our host has a face for radio. Rated R Safety Show.
But somehow you fell for me. I was your baby, and you were my clarity. I can't believe it's ending. Why did we fuck it up? So stupid and upsetting. How can I give you up? It won't be easy, but say you'll remember me. Let's stay here in this moment. Pretend that we're not broken. And kiss me like you used to do before it all went down.
Okay, there you go. 42 minutes past the top of the hour.
Now we're turned to nothing. So kiss me like you used to do before it all went down.
This is Before It Went Down.
This one night,
This is by Flux Vortex.
like you used to do before it all went down.
The song's readily available on Spotify and iTunes.
Do before it all went down. As from now on, we're
So thanks to Flux Vortex for allowing us to play this one here on the Rated R Safety Show. Oh, let's stay into this moment. Let's pretend. Yeah, you know how it goes. Yeah, and just in case if you're wondering, she did drop the F-bomb on side of there. But hey, you know, those things happen. That's what happens in the world of music. Some music has it, some music doesn't, and we just kind of go for it from there. Anyway, so let's get into it. Let's get into some talking points, some things that you probably want to know, some things that you care. Some things that you might not care about. But let me tell you about the most important thing that I am ever going to tell you, regardless of when we hang out, whatever we get to do, however we get to spend time together. This will always be the most important thing that I get to tell you. Let me tell you about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Whether you have struggled with suicide yourself or have loss of loved one, know that you're not alone. Hear about personal experiences from people in your local community whose lives have been impacted by suicide and depression. To find out more information, all you have to do is call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255, or text the word TALK to 741-741, or you can go to their website at I always mess that up, afsp.org, afsb.org. And that will get you moving and grooving. You can find out what's going on inside of your local chapters, what's going on in your local community, and potentially even see some of the stories of what is going on around there. I think it's so important to be able to do all of this stuff. This is not a joke as I say this. I just think it's one of those marvelous things that happens inside of the world that we get to do. Anyways, I did kind of skip around and do some things, so I'm going to bring Johnny Smalls in real quick for him to tell us about the market beat, and then we'll come right back.
Wednesday, April 6th, 2022. Equities retreated on Tuesday on fears the FOMC will get even more aggressive with policy change and interest rate hikes. The move came just a day before the minutes from the latest FOMC meeting are due to be released and may foreshadow what's to come. With inflation rising at the fastest pace in decades, the Fed is being forced into action that may stall the economy. The S&P 500 fell more than 1.25% at the low of the day, led by a 2% decline in the interest rate-heavy NASDAQ deposit. Earnings are also coming into focus, with JP Morgan Chase set to release its calendar Q1 report next week. The big banks are expected to post sequential increases in revenue and the impacts of rising costs. Banks are positioned to benefit from rising interest rates, but the impacts of inflation are offsetting the outlook. Higher rates will help profitability, but a stalled economy will cut into the top and bottom lines. You can get the inside track in your inbox at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for that one, for letting us know what is going on inside of the move and the groove of the world, because that stuff is always importante. So, yes, thank you for the person that has reached out and said that we are kind of falling back and forth on some of the social media aspects where it's kind of clicking. So I apologize about that. Not sure what's going on. Supposedly there's some kind of video stutter. And yes, I will talk about that because that's what's happening. So apologies ahead of time in regards to that. Well, not really ahead of time, because I guess it's post-event because it's already happened and now we're talking about it. So maybe it's not really ahead. Maybe it's post. I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things, because that's always important as we are hanging and banging inside of this world. Anyways, yesterday there was some info going around. So let's talk about this. Tiger plans to play at the Masters. Just over 1 year, nearly after losing a leg in a car crash, Tiger Woods is planning to play at the Masters. NBC's sports Mike Tirico talked to the Today Show about what could be the challenge.
The elevation changes, the hills, the pitch of all of it, it takes a toll after 18 holes. Talk to anybody who's played here, and they'll tell you that you can feel Augusta National in your shins after you play. So 4 days of that, when he hasn't done this in over a year and a half, that's a lot to ask.
Woods said that during the news conference on Tuesday that he plans to play the tournament. As of now, his final decision will come after playing 9 more holes today. Woods played a practice round at Augusta National last week with his son Charlie and Justin Thomas. The 15-time major champion and 5-time Masters champ will tee off in the first round alongside I'm not going to try to butcher the name. I know it's Lewis something and then Joaquin Neiman. So there you go. Because it's supposed to be like Hussein. And I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation. And, I like to butcher stuff around here as I am doing it from time to time. Anyways, let's continue talking. Let's see. It is 48 minutes past the top of the hour. I think we need to bring in some John Smalls one more time. And let's talk about the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by James. Elvis Presley said, "You only pass through this life once. You don't come back for an encore." I love that quote. And it kind of makes me smile when I think about the numerous Elvis sightings. That would kind of suggest that he did come back for an encore. But no matter what you believe about Elvis, we can all agree with his wise words. Remember, life is short, and we're speeding through life 24 hours at a time. Enjoy each and every day, and make the most of it while you're here. We're never guaranteed a tomorrow, so make the most of today. I encourage you to do that each and every day. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Your Wellness Minute is brought to you by AlysaMorgan.com. So, there was an ice bucket challenge, and you also might have heard of cryotherapy and the benefits of exposure to cold temperatures. It is puzzling how some of the least pleasant things sometimes happen to be some of the best for our wellness. So let's dive in. Cold exposure increases the growth of new mitochondria in adipose and muscle tissue, which translates into benefits for both metabolism and endurance. Cold water immersion also produces beneficial brain and metabolic effects that converge on norepinephrine, which is involved in vigilance, focus, attention, and mood. Low levels of norepinephrine are associated with decreased cognitive ability, poor mood, and even depression. Well, only 20 seconds in very cold water can boost norepinephrine 2-fold. So, if you ever feel adventurous about cold temperatures, you have a chance to give your cognition a very serious boost. For more, check out AlysaMorgan.com.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, there you go. Have you ever done one of those cryotherapy things? Because it is definitely It's cold. I have done the one where it's all the way up to your neck. I have not done the one where you immerse your head. But it's cold, but it's not as cold as you think. I know that makes absolutely no sense, but I'm just letting you know that is that's what's going on. Anyways, let's talk about some other things. Let's talk about some work jerks. Yeah, you heard me right there. An employment expert says that in spite or perhaps because of the fact that the inflation has hit its highest point in a generation, now it's a great time to ask for a raise. Sarah Vermont, funder of Caregasm, Careergasm, yeah, because that's better, says that right now job seekers have more power than they used to because companies are actively looking for new employees and trying to keep the ones that they have. She suggested to do your research ahead of it and be ready to present your case based on your performance, keep language positive, and pick the right moment to ask. Also prepare to be patient for your raise to be approved and consider accepting other perks instead, such as a chance to work from home or work from home permanently because you might get fired. You should be worried that the boss actually phrased it, the chance to be home permanently, because, that could mean something entirely different. All the attention lately is directed to those quitting their jobs, but experts say that it may be an even larger group who are still working, sort of. There are coasters, slackers, and cyber loafers. This is largely overlooked as cohorts of people who are not currently inclined to leave their jobs and don't hate what they do for a living, but not motivated or energized. The CNBC reports that the pandemic has made coasting widespread. A January study found that only half of employees say that they're engaged at work. 50% of them say that they're showing up, and 17% describe themselves as actively disengaged. Hey, at least they're showing up, so it's better than some people. So I guess that's one way to look at it in one way, shape, or form.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, here you go. Ramping up the fun. A British Columbia ski resort celebrated the end of the season with the annual Downhill Dummy event, which saw a collection of fake skiers sent canoeing down the slopes. Some of the makeshift sleds, Apex Mountain Resort, said that 13 skiers assembled and employees and local residents took to the slopes during the weekend, resulting in some speculating crashes. About 500 spectators show up to watch what the resort claims is the world's highest flying dummies downhill. It involves the use of ski facilities, aerial sites, and these sees dummies that are literally 60 to 70 feet vertical and in the air before they crash land. According to the Apex Mountain Resort General Manager James Shalman, there's some more information out there. So it's a downhill from here. They say that it isn't funny. It's a hill arse. You get it? It's a hill arse, as we are talking about it. Anyway, so let's talk about Did You Know real quick. If you want to live longer, the answer may be literally to chill out. A new study says that body temperatures can trigger a bigger impact on your lifespan with your metabolism. Scientists in China say that small fans to blow cool air all over animals living in high temperatures. Although they didn't change the metabolism, researchers say that it's prevented the mice and hamsters from having high body temperature, which is known to reduce lifespans in mammals. Under these conditions, the animals did not suffer from a shortened lifespan. A study authors concluded that the body temperature appears to have much more important role in determining lifespans than metabolic rate, creating the saying live cold, die old. So there you go. If that's the case, my wife's feet are going to live forever. So I guess that's one way to think about it. So hold on. If I live in a pretty hot place, does that mean live hot, die young? I mean, I just don't know. I mean, what's the combination of things right there? Who knows, right?
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, so there you go. There you go. I do not have the things that happened back on this date today, so I apologize about that. But if you are looking at some birthdays for today, Billy D. Williams turns 85. Paul Rudd turns, 53 today. Zach Braff turns 47. Candace Cameron turns 46. And Charlie McDermott turns 32 today. So there you go. If you're looking at some birthdays, you got some to take a look at. If you're looking for some reasons to celebrate today, I am sure that I can come up with something to share with you in that particular regards, because most of the times I believe that we have a list for it in regards to what is going on inside of there for you to be able to celebrate. So let's talk about it. Drowsy Driver Awareness Day, Twinkie Day, Tartan Day, Teflon Day, Caramel Popcorn Day. I'm not sure why anybody would want to celebrate that. Plan your Empathy Day. So there you go. A lot of stuff that you can plan for today if you want to do so. So there you go. Anyways, 56 minutes past the top of the hour, we will be going over to RadioBig.fm exclusively. If you want to come and hang out and do the things that we get to do, we'll be going over there and doing all that kind of fun stuff, because that's what we do. We take a gander of the world. I don't know. Maybe we'll take a look and do some other things as well. So you're more than welcome on coming over and hanging out with us. All you have to do is go to RadioBig.fm, or you can go to TuneIn Radio, my friends. TuneIn Radio app is where we're actually located now. Go to TuneIn Radio. We are there with thousands of other radio stations as well. So TuneIn Radio will get you kind of straight through our system, and we'll start doing what we get to do. Anyways, if you need a random joke for today, I got one of those for you. User is the word IT people use when they mean idiot. If you need a phone starter for today, try this one. What do you buy way more of than most people? If you need something for the water cooler, try this one. Here's a question. This is the number one food we hated as kids, but love it now. What is it? Asparagus. That is the twist of things. You know, I think mine would have to probably be guacamole. Or not guacamole, avocados. I did not like avocados as a kid. Hated them with a passion. But now I have an unholy passion towards them, and I seem like I can never get enough of them. And that is not a joke whatsoever. Anyway, so there you go. That's what we have going on for the show today. Thank you for coming out, hanging out, and doing the things that you do, because without you, we cannot do what we do around here. You are definitely the most important part of Radio Big and Safety FM, and that is the listener. Thank you for taking a listen to what we have going on, because if not, we wouldn't be able to do it. That is for sure not a joke, and I am being dead serious. Anyways, if you come over to safetyfmplus.com right now, we have a book talking about stress management for the month of April. So if you want to come and hang out and take a gander and a look of that, you're more than welcome on doing that. All you have to do is go to safetyfmplus.com. If I can leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. Maybe you have to know the darkness before you can appreciate the light. Think about that one. That one's going to make you a pounder if you really start thinking about it. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.